Right. So, good evening, guys. Welcome to my live stream. So, this is the first time I'm doing a live stream here. So, what we are going to do today is that we are going to check some YouTuber drafts because the deadline is very soon this week only. So, we'll be checking some YouTuber drafts and we're going to check what all teams they have been set up, what all the players they have made to their playing starting 11, and this is, I mean, like, I'm not going to rate them just like what they used to do to rate YouTuber drafts, because more or less players will be seen, and from Gameweek 1 you can't make it out that okay which player will earn more points or less points, and we all need to understand that this is just Gameweek 1, right? And the whole season is being just getting kick started right now. So it's not a 100-meter race, it's just like a marathon. So it's not like something like that I will rate it and whoever I will try to rate it, and if he or she has the highest point, he's going to win the FPL. It's just a game and we all have some fun playing this game. So basically we will be checking the YouTuber drafts, like some of the famous YouTubers we have, right, who are playing this FPL since many years. Some of the YouTubers have recently created some content, new contents right now. So we're going to check something like that, and yeah, just join with me. We'll see if you have some questions. If I'm eligible to answer those questions, that would be great. So yeah, let's start with that one. So the first thing is that we need to understand that this is not the team that you need to copy, right? It's just a game and you can do anything from here and just pick it up from any players. If you want to pick that can be done, right? So it's just a game, you want to have fun, something like that. And then, so basically we have here is the FPLY, right? FPLY is one of the a great content provided from the Indian boys and who have Bakr from Pakistan. So basically this is where I'm checking right now, is that there's a team of LR, I guess. So in this team you can see he has Ramsdale in goalkeeper, James, Robertson, Alexander Arnold and Cancelo in defense. So basically there is no Perisic or there is no Spurs defender here right now, and basically this makes fully understandable, right? Because this is we don't know whether Perisic or Doherty will be playing some minutes or not. We are not sure. Conte is not so confident about that one. So I think it's good. But seeing James, yeah, I think James will be playing against Everton, and even DCL is not going to play the first match. He's being injured. So basically this proves that okay, yeah, Chelsea are going to face a toothless Everton, right? So eventually we may have some clean sheet, but even Chelsea have some issues with their defense, and also in some of the players is going to leave, right? So yeah, in mid we have Neto, then he has selected Rashford, Salah, Martinelli, and in forward he has selected Haaland and Jesus. So he went with Haaland, not with Kane. So basically that's the point, right? Anybody can do the anything from here. And I think this is not LR's draft, this is Bakr's draft, who was very keen on taking Haaland. And let's check out LR's draft. This is LR's draft, where he went with Kane, Martial and Darwin, Neto, Martinelli, Salah, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Perisic, James and Ramsdale. A very weird thing about this one, he's not going with Jesus, right? I mean like 70% I think ownership already have 70% of the FPL managers have already have Jesus. So but yeah, he's going with Darwin, where I think he may or may not start. Even there's news that Jota is already been training, right? So I mean like he's a good shout out from Liverpool side, and yeah, more or less it's a good team. Both of them doesn't have Saka. They have went for Martinelli in their team. They went for Neto, There's no Belly in Ela's team. So yeah, went for the in defense. He went for 4 at the back. So very good team, nice team here. Now let's check out Zofar's draft. So here I can see he also went for the 4 in defense. Bailey, Martinelli, Neto and Salah, Haaland, Jesus. So more or less just like my own team. I didn't go for James there because I'm not so sure about Chelsea defense there. Ramsdale, I do have Ramsdale, Bailey, Neto. Again, the all 3 of them didn't go for Saka. They went for Martinelli. And yeah, it's a good team. And as I told you, right, if we see more or less the teams will be same itself, because teams players will be I mean all are eventually copying not copying, I would say. I mean, like, you don't have any other option like just a game week 1. Once the game week proceeds, then only you can go ahead and say, okay, these are the players, these are the teams that are not going to give you points or not, right? So yeah, now let's check out the next YouTuber's draft. So we have FPL Focal here. So FPL is again, it's a very creative content creator for me. He's having a very I basically like his the creativity with which he creates his draft, with which he creates, and even the I mean, like, whatever he used to say, his voice is very much interesting there, right? So now let's see his team here. So in goalkeeper he went with Ederson. In defense again, back at 4, Trent, Cancelo, James, Gabriel. So Gabriel is very unique choice here because we saw 3 of the drafts right now until now. So nobody went for any Arsenal defenders from FPL wise, right? So he went with Gabriel from Arsenal, which is a good thing because Arsenal have some good fixtures, and even if you see the preseason also, they have in good form, right? They have been scoring some good goals, and also defensively they are keeping clean sheet also. So I think if you go with one defender or either a goalkeeper from Arsenal, I don't think it's a bad choice. It's a very good choice eventually, because everybody in FPL, most of the FPL managers have went with Cancelo or double on Liverpool players or James or Perisic or Doherty, right? So this is a good combo where I can see that he's going with some differential point of view from defense point of view. So yeah, I like the defenders which he took in his starting 11, right? Now coming to the midfield, he has Salah, Luis Diaz, Neto and Bale. Again, the same cheap midfielder enablers, right? Because you have 8 million midfielder in your team, and then you must have Salah. Without Salah, I don't think anybody will go without Salah. Especially the YouTubers, right? Because they don't just want to be in the wrong side. Even I can fully understand. Even I don't want to go to the I don't want to go into game week 1 without Salah, because historically, if you see, Salah has been scoring some good points in the game week 1 only. Even this time, Liverpool will be playing against Fulham, which is again a promoted team. So I basically understand, because a 30 million midfielder when enters in your team, it basically takes a chunk of your budget and leaves you with small remaining budget, right? So yeah, 30 million, you have midfielder Salah, then you have 8 million, and then you have to somehow incorporate some cheap enablers in your starting 11. So Neto and Bailey perfectly fits that bill, because Bailey is in good form, and Neto, I think he's very explosive midfielder, and even the Jimenez is not going to start because he's already injured. So I feel Wolves are not so attacking in their approach. They're more defensive, and but yeah, Neto and Podence, they can be a good striking force within 5.5 million. So yeah, I like this team very much. And in our front we have Kane and Jesus. So again, he didn't go with Haaland here. So I mean, Haaland is a good I mean, I'm not saying that if you go with Haaland, it's the wrong opinion, it's the wrong choice. It's a good choice, but the thing is that Haaland needs some time. And if you see the first match of City, that is against West Ham United. So I don't think that West Ham is uh, will be an easy fixture for Manchester City instead of Southampton for Spurs. So just to target the fixtures, right? As LR says that you need to target the fixtures. So the basically, if you go to the game week 1 with Kane, then if you go to the if you from game week 2, if you go to the Manchester City of Haaland, then it makes point, right? That okay, I went with this fixture. The Spurs have Southampton in their first game week. Then I switch back to Haaland, and this gives you buffer, right? This that once a game week 1 goes, you may have some idea, because we have seen in the Community Shield, right, that Haaland did get some chances, but he missed, just maybe because of the opponent he had, like Liverpool in the Community Shield final. So maybe there is some sort of what I would say, like a first match sort of nervousness. So once the season progresses, I'm definitely sure that Haaland will definitely be scoring goals, because the midfielders in City, they provide so many chances, right? We know, we have seen Aguero. uh, so we know traditionally Pep is a very attacking coach here, and he will definitely create chances. And it's Haaland, right? We're talking about Haaland, who is known to grab those opportunities, who is known to overperform his XG, right? So he's definitely a good pick. But just seeing the fixtures, just seeing the conditions right now, some of them are going with Kane, and some are just fitting. They don't just want to switch back to, I mean, waste their transfer from Kane to Haaland, right? So yeah, this looks a perfect team. And in bench, basically everyone has the same team, like Nico Williams, Andres Pereira. These are cheap enablers, 4 million, 4.5 million midfielders. So these are cheap enablers, and these are the most common bench you would see right now, correct? So who do we have in the next slide? So yeah, we have Let's Talk FPL Andy. So is it again, if you see here, he also went with so again he went with the 4 in the defense: Trent, Cancelo, James, Perisic, Ramsdale the goalkeeper, Salah, Diaz, Martinelli, Neto, Haaland, Jesus. So again, it's the same thing, right? He went with Haaland. So as I mentioned earlier, right, that it's the same thing. Somebody wants to go with Kane, some FPL managers want to go with Haaland. Basic thing is that most of the team has Jesus in their team. Only I think LR was missing Jesus. I don't know, before deadline he may or may not change his opinion. But whatever he has discussed in the FPL pod, I like his point of view. He went with Martial, and again, as he mentioned, that if Sancho is going to play, he's going to stick with Martial. If not, I think he ultimately has to change his decision and comes to Jesus. So I think more or less the same team, right? Luis Diaz, Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold doing triple over the Liverpool. He didn't go for Robertson here, but yeah, I mean Robertson, and again there's a huge question between who is better, whether Robertson or Diaz, or Kane or Haaland, something like that, right? It's just a game week 1. You need to understand this is just a game week 1, and I mean this is just a like this. Okay, somebody is in our chat. It's Edward. Hey, hi Edward, how are you doing? So yeah, okay, so people are joining. Okay guys, so just pardon me if I'm doing anything wrong. This is my first time just sharing the drafts from all the YouTubers, and maybe if things goes right, and if I get a good feedback, or even if I don't get a good feedback also, like I just want to enjoy her, right? Everybody wants to go and enjoy. This is just a game, right? So there's no hard and fast rule that you have to be very much perfect here. So yeah, so what I was talking about Andy is that he also went with the current template only. And as I was going through the video by the, I think recently today itself, FPL Focal has released that what the experts are saying from the FPL community, that it's not a, like, you don't have to be afraid like going with the template, like just a game week one. You don't have to go and you don't have to go and take a differentials from the very first game week itself, right? So you may repeat the templates which we have currently right now, which is 442, right? We have Kane or Haaland. Gabriel Jesus is already everybody's in team, right? Trent and Salah is fixed. Either Martinelli or Saka. You need to have one mid from the Arsenal, Neto or Bailey from any like cheap enabler. So this is common for each and every one of the team, right? Now the question comes in my point, right? That in my mind is that whether to go with Perisic or Doherty. Obviously, if you ask me a question, I will definitely go with Perisic, because if you see Perisic playing, you will be wanting him in your team. But the only problem comes is that uh, I'm bit scared about Conte. And yeah, you need to understand that Conte is not an English speaking manager, right? He's bit like, he's Italian, right? So he, whatever he says, I'm not sure whether that is being correctly translated in the English media. So we are not sure that what he wanted to imply or what he wanted to convey to us, and whether that is exactly he wanted to understand, right? We are able to understand that okay, he's saying that Perisic or Doherty is not up to the mark, but I'm not sure like whether he really wants to make him play. He's 33, I guess, right? 33 or 34. Then we have this 5 substitution rule in EPL right now, so there's always a chance of getting subbed off earlier, right? But one thing is sure, if Perisic is going to play for 30 minutes itself, he is going to be explosive. He is going to be explosive. And against Southampton, Spurs are opening their fixtures in the game week one. It's very tempting. Even I am also not sure. I have Alexander Arnold, Cancelo, and Robertson, but the fourth one I have right now, Luka Dean from Aston Villa, just because Aston Villa has some good fixtures against Bournemouth, and I think Bournemouth is a team to target currently in the first few game weeks, because uh, if you see the press conference of, or if you see the like what Scott Parker is saying, that they have lost something like 7 to 8 players from their team, so they are very much weak what they used to be in the championship itself. They got promoted, that's another point, and EPL is another horse race, right? So you can't just be sure that okay, I had the team and I'm going to just be in the EPL. You need to invest, you need to have especially the promoted teams, they need to be very much to their toes, because EPL is a different ball game. You can't just mess it up with your own championship thing. We have seen like previous season when we have Mitrovic. Even this is time right now we don't have any Mitrovic in any of the template, just because unfortunately I would say that Fulham doesn't have good opening fixtures. But again, Mitrovic had his own nightmares in EPL or FPL managers, because he was not able to score so goals like expected goals as per the FPL managers. But yeah, this time he has scored I think 40 plus goals in championship, which itself is a record. But again, we have fixtures which is fortunately not good fixtures for Fulham, and I think this gives a time to judge, or like to basically think about whether or not to invest on Mitrovic after some point of time, right? So yeah, let's come to the Andy part. Andy's FPL draft is looking very much good. Now let's see who do we have in the next window. Okay, so we have here FPL Mate here. So FPL Mate, again, he is one of the inspiration for all the YouTube content creators, just like FPL Focal, right? Because his graphics, his way of saying things is very articulate way of thinking, and I personally like it. I won't be saying that I'm just like him, but yeah, I just like him. Whatever he does, like his point of view. And the thing is that he already had a good like last season. I saw that many of them have tried to troll him, I guess, that due to that, okay, he is such a FPL YouTuber who doesn't have a good rank. But things aside, he just proved himself. As you can see, he has already mentioned in his video itself, his last year previous rank was 243. So you can understand what is the how is this FPL manager, because unless and until you are going to play good, it's not like a thing that, okay, I just played and whole season I played and just come through 43, right? So just bit of luck, but obviously there's so much data into this one. Okay, so as you can see here, he has started with Melier from Leeds United, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Cancelo, Zinchenko, Salah, Mount, Martinelli, Neto, Kane and Jesus. So again, Melier is a very unique option right now until yet whatever we have seen here. So as you can see in the Melier from Leeds United, right? So he's coming at a 4.5 million, and Leeds United is going to play Wolves, Southampton, Chelsea, and then Brighton in his first four game weeks, right? So again, Wolves against Wolves, I think it's a good punt because uh, yeah, what I was saying, sorry. So yeah, so Melia is a good point here, right? Because Leeds United is going to play Wolves, and basically Melia has some will give you definitely some good I mean save points, right? So bonuses always a talk here whenever you make some good saves here, and clean sheet may or may not be possible, but I think it's a bit optimistic that against Wolves you may have like clean sheet, because Wolves are not so attacking right now. We have Neto, we have Podence, but I think he's a good punt here, keeping the Melia, because if you take Melia in 4.5 million, you can just invest those plus 0.5 or plus 1 million in some other players, right? Now coming to defense is again the same, right? It's like Trent and Robertson, Robo is there, Cancelo, Zinchenko is a good. Just I think we have seen with the FPL Focal, right, where he has where he had his event with Gabriel, I guess, in the defense, right? So as I said, Arsenal defense plus Arsenal attack is a perfect combo. Seeing the fixtures or seeing the preseason form, I think is a good thing. So okay, so we have Fazli who is saying in the chat that is 3 premium good or not? Yeah, I mean, if you're going with 3 premium, it's not like that. As I said, right, it's a game week 1, so it's something not like that, okay, you have to have 2 or you have to have 1 premium or you have to have 3 premium. But yeah, the thing is that you need to be very sure that which 3 premium you're going, and if you are those premiums are not giving you points day by day, then I think it's better to switch to some other premiums, and for that you need to have some sort of budget or some sort of flexibility in your team, right? So again, my question will be 3 premium is good, but by my next question will be like, who are those 3 premiums? Okay, so we have Josh, and he's asking thoughts on Lingard. Yeah, Lingard, man, I'm pretty much very much interested. He's in my watch list because Lingard went to West Ham, and we all know, like, he used to score goals and provide an assist with his own will, right? So Nottingham Forest getting Lingard, coming at a price of I think 6 million or 6.5 million, I guess. So that's a very good watch list for me. But yeah, I won't advise you to take him right away in your team, because at that price point we have so many other players, and also the fixtures don't allow us, right? I always say that target the fixtures, right? So I don't think you need to have Lingard currently right now, but yeah, you definitely should have in your watch list, in your radar, because in next going to some next 3 4 5 fixtures, I think there you may be thinking that okay, that by that time we will have some idea that how Lingard is suiting to his new team, how he's playing to that new team. So yeah, I don't think Lingard is a bad shout out. So he is a good choice, but not at the very first game week. But again, it's all up to you. It's just a game. If your will says, if your gut says, okay, go with Lingard, then man, just go with Lingard. Don't think about okay, who's saying the what, which expert, which FPL experts are saying what. Just a game. So yeah, if you think Lingard is going to score goals, go for it, man. There is nothing wrong with going with your guts. So yeah, as I was saying with as we are seeing with FPL mate, right? So FPL mate again went for 442, and he went. One good thing is that in 8 million midfielder bracket, he went with Mount, right? And one thing is that Mount is very much nailed in the Chelsea team. He is like he's the perfect nailed player, perfect. And from last season also, if I see, because I'm a Chelsea fan, right? So I know how he developed from season to season. So Lampard gave him the chance in the starting 11. Last season Tuchel also took him, and okay. So Josh is saying, yeah, I think I may take a punt on him. I think he'll be a good differential for me. Absolutely, as I said, he is a good differential, not a doubt. We all know his potential. We have seen him playing for West Ham. He was scoring goals. He was providing assists. So, and in Nottingham Forest, he may be play a major role here, because he's a EPL star, right? He has some EPL experiences. In a promoted team, other players will be looking for you to the motivation, right? He will play the players uh, as per your strengths. So that plays an advantage in Lingard's point, right? That he is going to Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest is coming to EPL after so many long years, right? It's been a long wait, and we all wanted to see Nottingham Forest because we all know the history, right? So I think yeah. So Josh, I think it's a perfect thing. If you think that he's going to be good differential, go for it, man. Go for it. Okay, so coming back to FPL mates draft. So yeah, I was saying about Mount, right? So Mount is again, right? He is a good. I think we have a Sterling in Chelsea team, but again Sterling is coming at 10 million, right? If Sterling would have come at 8 million, I would say go with Sterling, because I have seen in the preseason Chelsea were not looking so much sharper, not so much sharp, but yeah, whatever the attack was coming, that attack was heading by Sterling, and Mount was in each and everything. He was in all the build-ups, right? So if you want to go with Mount, then also it's a good punt, because if you see in the second game week, they only have Spurs. Rest, other than Spurs, they have good fixture. They have Everton, Leeds, Leicester. So I think Mount is a very good choice from mate here. So yeah, next we need to see which YouTuber we have. Okay, so we have Davey FPL. So who do we have here? Oh, so in goalkeeper we have Raya. Okay, and then he went with Trent, Cancelo, again Chilwell, Eight Nori, Salah, Saka, Neto, Foden, Haaland, Tony. So this, I'm not sure whether this is his own team or not, because yeah, he's saying this is my game one team, but I'm bit skeptical about Chilwell, because I have not seen him playing good in, or he didn't look so sharp in that. Okay, so Josh is saying also thoughts on Robo. Dial so difficult to choose because I already have Trent. I think Robo is better value, but at the same time, I think Diaz will be good for transfers at this price point. Yeah, as I said, flexibility. If you want flexibility, you may go to Diaz, but I've seen, if you ask my opinion, I personally would suggest Robo, just because I've seen the Community Shield, right? Because during the Community Shield match, Robo was much more in the attacking phase than Diaz. Diaz is playing good. He had touches, but I think Robo was having more touches than Diaz. I don't have the stand, but what I test I had, like, I don't have currently stats with me, but what I saw in the match, I think Robo was the man, because when I saw him in there, I thought that he is going to be nearly in my team, because Trent is not in doubt, as you said, right? Trent and Salah will be in your team, that I'm very much sure. But if you say that, okay, Diaz is going to be good for transfer at his Spencer point of view, yeah, because he's coming at 8 million, and it gives you flexibility to switch back to any 8 million or just less than 8 million, like 7 or 6.5, something like Grealish or some. So we have so many players in the 8 million price range. But personally, I would say I would go with Robo. Again, I don't force anybody, I don't advise, or I don't just tell them, okay, this is right, this is wrong. But I personally feel that Robo will click for me. Okay, okay. So I think this clears your doubt, Josh. And thanks for having in this, like, thanks for being in the stream, because I think you're the sole guy in my stream. And thanks for being in the stream and just motivating me to go ahead and with this team. Thanks a lot. So yeah, coming to Davis team. So Chilwell, I was talking about Chilwell, right? So Chilwell is coming at a 6 million price range. Even the same price range we have Reece James, and I've seen Reece James and I've seen Chilwell playing the preseason games. Reece James have more preseason minutes than Chilwell. I think Chilwell didn't play the last match also. Alonso played the last match. So I think okay, yeah, you're welcome, mate. So I think Chilwell is a bit risky option here. I won't be going for Chilwell here within 6 million price range. If you want to have a Chelsea defender, I think I would have gone with Reece James here. No problem, and keep the good work. Thanks, Josh. Thanks again. So yeah, so I was skeptical about Chilwell here, and I think Reece James could have been better. 8 Nuri. So again, we have heard names of 8 Nuri, or we have heard names of Johnny from Wolves. Wolves will taking a 4.5 million defender from Wolves is a good thing, but I would suggest to like have some other. If you go with Dalot, I think is a more nailed player in the like Manchester United is a much more bigger team, and I think under Ten Hag, I think Manchester United are going to dominate. So 8 Nuri again, he is good. And one good thing I want to make a point here is that in Wolves back four, right? So the Wolves, we have two wing backs, 8 Nuri and Johnny. Among both of them, the 8 Nuri is the more explosive, more attacking wing back. Johnny is a good. I won't say that he's, but in my point of view, 8 Nuri is much better than Johnny. So if he's going with 8 Nuri, I think it's good. But I don't think 4.5 you need to take from Wolves in the very first game week. Again, in the midfield, it's the same thing: Salah, Saka, Neto, Foden. Now see, Foden didn't start the Community Shield match, and I think Grealish and Mahrez started, right? And but yeah, once Foden comes, he is going to be explosive. And the front three, apart from Haaland, the other two flanks, that is Grealish and Mahrez, both are very much rotational. So again, I'm not going to take chances with my 8 million midfielder. And again, one more thing is that when you have Bailey, when you have this type of players, I think it's not so necessary to have 8 million midfielders in your team at the very first game week. I think this doesn't give you a flexibility in other position in your team, because see, if you have 8 million midfielders in your team, uh, in defense you are just compromising with Wolves defender, right? And in forward also, if you see, he has Haaland and Tony, there is no Gabriel Jesus. So I think it's just take away some flexibility from your team. And if you want to have 8 million, one is enough. if you have two 8 million midfielders, I think it's not up to my personal opinion that I don't like having two 8 million midfielders in this season. So yeah, next we have is FPL Raptor. I think he has written one book. I don't remember some book he has written, and it was very much popular in the community. But yeah, he's a very nice guy, and he's giving so many tips and suggestions here. So right, we can. Okay, so who do we have in his team? In goalkeeper, we have Ramsdale, Trent, Trippier, James, Cancelo, Salah, Martinelli, Neto, Diaz, Jesus, Haaland. Front two, same as usual. In midfield, no change. I think Martinelli, Neto, Diaz, Salah. He didn't go for Robertson, which is a quite thing. Even Josh in our stream is also saying the same thing. He also wants to go with Diaz, which is not at all wrong. He can go. And yeah, Trippier is just like is a very good defender in Newcastle, and Trippier for me is just like a James Ward-Prowse in the defense, right? He takes such a good amount of free kicks, such good quality of free kicks, which bond you to be which forces you to have him in your team. Even when he was in Spurs, when I used to play, I think 3 to 4 years back, I think when he used to play for Spurs, right? So that time also I was very much uh, I was very much interested in Trippier because he was such a good player. He used to be in wing backs, right? So yeah, it's a good call here having Trippier in your team. Reece James again, it's a very good choice from Chelsea because apart from Davies, right? Davies went with Chilwell. So I think James is much more nailed and much more explosive, and he looked much sharper than Chilwell in Chelsea team. And I think Chelsea are already in for Cucurella. I think they have already submitted the bid. 50 million players. I mean, they already have negotiated with players, so there won't be an issue with the players. The only thing is that the proposal is on the Brighton's table, and it's up to the Brighton to take it or reject it. But as I have heard that, as I've seen in the news reports that Manchester City went with 40 million proposal and Chelsea went with I think 50 million or more, 50 plus I think. So that was the asking price of Brighton. So I don't think it will be an issue with Chelsea having Cucurella's service. Once Cucurella or I think Fofana is also linked to Chelsea, right? So once the defense is sorted, I think Chelsea will be a good defensive side. I mean, not defensive side, I would say, but as we have seen, right, Tuchel is good in keeping clean sheet. So once he has defenders in his disposal, I think it won't be any problem in keeping clean sheet for Chelsea. So that time, I think since third, I think game week 3 or 4, I think Chelsea have a good turn of fixtures, and at that point of time, I think everybody will go with Chelsea players, and they will definitely go with Chelsea players in their starting 11. So yeah, this was FPL Raptor, and this more or less looks like my same team, and except Diaz, instead of Diaz, I had Saka. So yeah. Okay, so who do we have? This is Upper 90 Studios. And luckily, when I was just researching the YouTube, this is one of my first channel that I subscribed when I started playing FPL, like I think 2008 something, or 8 to 9 years back. So I particularly like this channel, and I think he was not there since like 1 year back. So suddenly this evening I saw that he posted his video, and I don't know if he's going to see my channel or not, but if he sees this video, I'm a die-hard fan of his work, man, because he says such a good nuances of every FPL expert managers and how to break those templates, how to get the differential. It's just guy phenomenal. So if you're not following this guy, I would say, because as I've seen this his first video which he has posted as you can 3rd August, so he has mentioned that he will be regular this season. So I will highly recommend you to subscribe his channel because he's totally deserving. So now let's go and see his team. Who do we have in his team? So in front two, again there's no change. He has Jesus and Kane. In midfield he has Salah, Saka, Neto, and Pereira and Bailey. But Bailey is in bench, so I don't think uh, Pereira will be in starting 11. He will be starting to in bench. But again, this much is more same to same my team. Now coming to defense, he has Alexander Arnold, Cancelo, Robertson, James. Again, as I said, just like my team, I went with Robo and as an Arnold. Then he has Cancelo. Same with me. Only I didn't have James. I have Lucadine, and in defense he has Henderson from Nottingham Forest. So this is a good differential goalkeeper. Because we all know Henderson, right? So Henderson is a good goalkeeper who will make lots of saves. So definitely, I won't be hoping for clean sheet, but again, I think he is a good shout out to have in your team. I don't see how much budget he has, but yeah, this looks perfect. This looks the perfect template team, I would say. More or less out of 11 you have 7 or 8 players, more or less same just like other FPL managers. So just like the same thing, right? Okay, so who do we have in our next? Again, this is FPL Flair. This is my very dear friend and very nice guy. Again, a very good content creator. He's a good uh, I like, just like as I said about FPL Mate or FPL Focal, right? FPL Flair is again one of my YouTube inspiration because he also creates some good uh, fonts or good thumbnails and all those sort of things. Graphics, if you see the graphics, top-notch graphics. So again, shout out to FPL Flair. So again, who do we have in his team? He has Ramsdale in his goalkeeper, good player. Then in defense, he has Alexander Arnold, Doherty, Robertson, Cancelo. Good pick, Doherty. Then he has Mahrez, Martinelli, Salah, Bailey, Kane, Jesus. Again, he went with Mahrez. There's no Neto. I completely understand. If you have Bailey, don't need to have, or you don't need to have. Like Neto is not a must, right? It's not mandatory that you need to have Neto in your team. He went with Mahrez. Again, I have issues with Mahrez that the playing minutes he may get subbed off because we have seen in the Community Shield, right? But again, City will get chances. Mahrez is a good finisher, and I think it's a good choice of player here. Cancelo, Doherty. Again, Doherty. If you ask me, Doherty and Perisic is more explosive than Doherty, but I think Doherty will play more minutes compared to Perisic. I don't know. I don't have any specific reason, but my gut says that Doherty will play much more than Perisic. So I think it's a good team from his bank. He has used all of his reserve into this. It's a 100 million complete team, right? So yeah, it's a good team. So okay. So who do we have in the next? So we have FPL Harry. Again, he's a good YouTuber. He's some good rank. As you can see in 2021, last season he got around 1k, and then last season he got around 3k. So he's continuously performing, and this itself speaks about the content creator that okay, whatever he's investing, whatever he's guiding you guys, more or less those are going to even help you. So let's see who he has got in his team. He went with Raya, again, good one. But I think Brentford has acquired the services of Strakosha, and he's also coming at a value of 4.5 million. And what I've heard about Strakosha is that he's also a very, very good goalkeeper. But from Brentford fans, what I heard that Raya is going to start. But again, he's a fan favorite, right? Fan is going to be a bit biased in his point of view. So we don't know, right? We don't know whether Raya is going to play definitely, but it may change. But by the time I mean until now it's a good choice. In defender we have like he has Trent, Cancelo, Trippier. As I said, Trippier. This is just like a James Ward-Prowse of defenders. Robo in defense went with Trent and Robo in defense, and then Salah, no, then Martinelli, Mount again, Neto, Jesus and Haaland. Again the same template. There's nothing to discuss here. It's the same team. It's a good team. So more or less, as we have seen, right, more or less people are going with the template. So the margins won't be that much high. This is just a game week 1. We can always catch with other players if you are getting back in the game week 1. So now let's check who do we have in the next slide. Again, this is FPL TV. So this is one of the, I think, the oldest channel we have in the YouTube, that is coming with you content create for the FPL. Who do we have in his team? He has Ederson in his goalkeeper position, then he has James, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Trippier. Again, nothing to mention again and again. So just like a James Ward-Prowse of defense. He has Diaz, Salah, Martinelli, Neto, Kane, which is template, just a template thing. But he went with Ederson, and I just somehow don't go with an idea that you need to have a Manchester defender, because see, Cancelo is everyone's choice, right? You have one sort book for Cancelo in defense. Now you have two of the slot for City. One you can go for Haaland if he starts performing, which I think will definitely go. And if you already have Ederson in your team, there's no third slot, right? There's already 3 slots are booked. But I think somewhere, seeing the fixtures, I think we will have some sort of idea who is going to play more minutes in the midfield position of City. And I think instead of taking Ederson, just of having a clean sheet, because City's defense is very good, right? He won't be getting too much points in saves. So instead of just relying on a clean sheet, it's better to have a midfield from City when the time comes, right? When we have a good sort of an idea that which all players in midfield is nailed in the starting 11 for City. So just my suggestion is that Ederson, instead of Ederson, I think if you could have gone for Arsenal or some other 4.5 million goalkeeper, then it would have been good. Okay, next who do we have? Great, FPL tips. Again, great channel for all of us. So again, he's an inspiration for all of our content creators, especially for me. So who do we have? So this is the first team I think we in the stream which have gone for 5 of the 5 at the back, right? We started this notion, we started seeing this trend in the very beginning of the FPL launch, right? That people were going to 5 at the back, 5 at the back. Earlier, like 5 to 6 years back, when we started playing FPL, there was that notion that okay, don't go heavy at the back. But this season it completely changed, because we have so much explosive value defenders in the back, which is going to balance the other position in your team. So again, here Ederson, as I mentioned earlier, I don't mind I mind having Ederson, so bit dodgy from here. And in defense he has as an Arnold, James, Cancelo, Robertson, Perisic. Again, very good defense picks. He didn't go for Nico Williams, he just went for 5 defense. So I think more or less it will be the same 5 defense. None of the defenders will go to the bench for him. Then in the mid he has Salah, Martinelli, Neto. Again the same thing, Haaland and Jesus. There's no Kane or Son in his team, which is completely understanding because he went with Haaland, right? And then he has already Perisic. So if you have one Spurs player, then that's enough. Again in the bench we have Ward. So yeah, one good thing is here that Ward is going to be very good starting goalkeeper initially until Leicester is not going to bring any new goalkeeper, because Schmeichel is going, I think some Lily, I think he's going for Lily, right? So he's going to League One. He's going to transfer to League One team Lily, and yeah, as Brendan Rodgers mentioned, right, that what is a very good goalkeeper for Leicester. So if you have a 4 million, if you need a 4 million bench uh, goalkeeper, what is a perfect shout out, because if you want, if the fixtures are favorable, you should or you may switch back to Ward in your starting 11 in that particular fixtures. So again, these are very good uh, steam here from FPL teams. So who do we have in our next slide? Okay, this is insanely football again. I follow this channel in Instagram, and they provide some good content there itself. Even I follow them in the in YouTube also. I basically join their streams also. I just go through his views again. Bit biased because he's in just is Indian YouTube content creator, but yeah, keeping the biased thing aside, he's fully deserved his 1K subscribers, and he's a very good content creator. Like if you see his post in the Instagram, there's so much detailing in those posts. So yeah, let's see who he has got in his team. Okay, in goalkeeper he has Ramsdale again, very good pick here. Robertson, Trent, Cancelo, perfect for in the defense. In midfield he has Neto, Salah, Saka, and Bailey. I think this midfield is perfectly same, just like me. Kane, Jesus. Okay, so Kane, Jesus, Neto, Salah, Saka, Bailey. Striker and midfielder position is completely. I also have the same players. In defense, Robo, Trent, Cancelo, same. Goalkeeper also same. Only the passage. I too had passage, but the only thing is that I'm not so sure about playing minutes for Perisic in the first game week. So I went with Lucadine just because Lucadine is going to play against Bournemouth, and as I said, I just want to target Bournemouth after Scott Parker. Scott Parker has mentioned in his interview, right, that they are not the same team what they used to in the championship. So yeah, like I think this is the one of the template thing, right, which you can which you can there's no harm in going with a template team here. So basically, if somebody is saying that okay, I want to go differential, you may go to differential, but my only advice would be that don't pick so many differential players at a very initial game weeks only. Take one or two differential players, that would be enough, but don't make a team that okay, I would go without Salah and then I would take some differential. Why would I waste 30 million in Salah? I can get some more players in that pricing. Of course you may have some other players, but only thing is that you never want to mess with Egyptian king, right? As I say, he is